And so, yes, you can now focus that and start changing little by little the neural pathways to get new habits using the technique of focusing on what you want and rationalizing how this is, this is a criticism. You rationalize by saying, that's what he thinks. What he thinks doesn't affect me. Even if everything he says is right, doesn't affect me, but you may still feel horrible as you're doing this. So again, the Callahan technique is the most effective way and the quickest way to start changing those neural pathways and habits. Anytime you feel bad for anything, your lover leaves you and you feel horrible, use the Callahan technique. You got bad news and you feel horrible, use the Callahan technique. See, anytime something happens and your state changes from a good state to a horrible state, all that means is you have so many neural pathways that have been established in the brain and so many patterns that have been ingrained in you, and so much negative energy that is now activated when that situation happens. You need to get rid of them. You can get rid of them by using the Callahan technique instantly, or you can focus and spend 1, 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and start using your own mind to say, my focus by law of attraction is being pulled here, so I feel horrible because now I'm feeling lack and I'm vibrating that which is not who I am. All my hopes, dreams, and desires are the vibration that's part of me, but I'm vibrating now something different that doesn't line up, or I'm vibrating that I won't get it, or that I don't have it now, making me feel horrible. So criticism or any of these things that are keying in just tells you that you have a lot of big ball of black negative energy, which you're going to have to diminish. And every time, and some of you for the next 30, 60, 90 days could be using a Callahan technique almost every day, because you have so many different things that come into your life which activate different parts of this big black blob of energy. And you need to disempower it. You need to make it dissipate. You need to make it go away. And you need to basically fill up all those existing neural pathways and patterns and start establishing new ones. Make sense? All right, let me talk about a couple other key issues here when it comes specifically to making money. A key issue, which we addressed, but I want to hit it again, is focus. We talked about obsession. We talked about a chief aim. We talked about you get what you think about most of the time. Therefore, it's to your major advantage to have focus on one major thing as your chief aim, so that most of the day, most of the time, you're focusing on that in an obsessive way. You're thinking about it all the time as if it absolutely, positively, 100% is already yours. And when you do that, you will feel amazing. If you're thinking about it and you're feeling bad, that means your shift is on the lack of it, or doubt and disbelief have crept in, which means it is not going to come in. So you have to shift back to feeling really, really good. But focus is a key. And the reason I bring this up is most people who are trying to make money sometimes don't put any focus on anything. They are running around with no focus, working on 50 different projects. And every time a new exciting idea comes by, they jump on that one. And they're not putting any focus or attention on anything long enough for it to germinate. If you plant a seed, you have to water it and cultivate it and fertilize it, and water it and cultivate it and fertilize it, and water it and cultivate it and fertilize it before it grows. Same thing here. When you're out there putting a vibration that you want something to succeed, or money, and you're putting attention on a particular project, and all of a sudden the new project comes along and you're now putting attention on that, you're taking attention off the first one, you're not getting any focus. You're not basically thinking about anything long enough for it to really attract into your physical existence. You get what you think about most of the time. So focusing on a chief aim is vital. Focus. I see this all the time. And I can see it because people who ain't focused on getting the results and therefore they start getting frustrated, start feeling bad, they're vibrating bad, and the whole it's a spiral downward. They're never going to turn it around, ever. Because they're not focusing on anything. And then all of a sudden their shift is now they keep thinking about what they don't want to happen, or they keep thinking about the fact that they don't have what they want, the lack of it, and therefore they get more of that. Nothing. That makes sense? Now, a question that came up too at the break was, how long do I do something? At what point should I quit and move on to something else? And it's an excellent question because if you're focusing on making money and an opportunity comes around and you start putting time and effort into this opportunity, but all of a sudden another opportunity comes around, do you stop the first activity and start this new one because it looks ultimately better, realizing that perhaps that first opportunity was just a stepping stone for you to move on to the next one? At what point do you stop or quit? You know, there's a saying, stop throwing good money after bad. And the answer is real simple. If you're doing something and it is in line perfectly with your thoughts, you will be having so much fun doing the activity. You will feel great. Sometimes you focus on making money and you decide, I'm going to do this business. You got doing this business for weeks, months, maybe a couple of years, and you're enjoying every minute of it. But at some point, the enjoyment goes away. It now becomes drudgery. It's no longer fun. That's when you quit. If it's no longer fun, you should consider quitting. First, consider, have you got off track by changing your thought patterns on the fact that it's not working fast enough? And are you focusing on it not working or the lack that you have because you're not getting the results? Or is there fear and doubt creeping in? And first, see if you can change that so that the activity can go back to being fun again. Or if you can't, then stop the activity, quit, and look for something else that can give you pleasure. Because the main reason we're doing this, we're playing the game of life, is to have fun and to get as much pleasure as we can. So if you're not having fun, if you're feeling bad, that is when you should consider quitting. First, consider if your thought process has gone off track. Then you should consider quitting and moving on to something else that gives you pleasure. It must be fun. Another question is, how do I stay motivated? Well, when you're focusing on what you want and you have a burning desire for its achievement, you will absolutely be motivated every day. So the first thing is how to stay motivated is, if somebody says, I'm not motivated, I says, what's your chief aim? I don't have one. Good, get one. That's the first reason people ain't motivated. They don't have a chief aim that they have a burning desire for its achievement. The way to get motivated is to get a chief aim and a burning desire for its achievement. When you can find something that can give you a burning desire, that's when you're the happiest and that's when you're motivated. You are truly happiest when you're in the process of achieving your goal. That's when you're the happiest. It's been said, true happiness and success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile dream. It's the process. And the real process is when you have something that you categorically want and you have a burning desire and obsession for its achievement, that's when you are the happiest. And that's when you're motivated. So that's the real key. Now, the way to fuel the fire is to read books every day, listen to CDs every day, go to different seminars on a regular basis, or you're associating with and meeting other like-minded people, and you constantly do dream building. Because dream building will keep you motivated. It'll keep you focused on your chief aim and keep that obsession and desire to achieve it. Because it'll keep fueling the fire of desire. That's how you stay motivated. And always, always, always follow your own desires. Follow that which gives you the greatest sense of bliss. If you always do and follow what gives you bliss, you will live an extraordinary life. You will live a magnificent existence on this wonderful planet. Always, always, always follow your bliss. Question. Question is, are multi-level marketing companies or direct sales companies, are joining them a good idea? And the answer is, for some people, they're a great idea, and for other people, they're a bad idea. How do you know? Well, does it excite you? I was involved in a network marketing company back in the 70s, and it was, for me, at the time, a spectacular experience. I got to associate with wonderful, motivated, successful people. I read books and was exposed to good books, outside of the society, of course, but still good books. I went to seminars and different functions and lectures, and it was a really magnificent, fun, social, exciting, profitable experience. So for a lot of people, being part of a network marketing organization can be a real blessing. You can get a lot of benefits from that, a lot of benefits. And you can make a lot of money in many of them. They're all over the world. There's lots of them, and they're very, very attractive and effective. But for some people, it's a horrible experience because doing that is not following their bliss. So there's no right or wrong here. You follow your own bliss. Yeah, people make a lot of money in them, and some people don't make any based on themselves and whether they're using these techniques or not, and a lot of other factors. So it's something you should consider. The global information network that we're launching is first and foremost to give people information so they can apply this knowledge from the societies in their real life. But that global information network also will have a network marketing element where we believe it'll be a global operation launching soon. And people can get into that. And we believe for some people, it'll be a wonderful opportunity. For others, they would have no interest in it. They'll just join for the information. But for those who want to take advantage of the business opportunity aspect and the money-making opportunity aspect, we think it'll be something that people can make millions and millions of dollars a year in residual income, ongoing income, without putting forth a lot of effort. And they'll develop some pretty substantial permanent incomes, residual incomes, money that comes in month after month, in potentially in the millions. So look for that as well. Question? Yes, the question is, there are courses on how to buy real estate with no money down, how to make money as a real estate investor, how to make money in the stock market, how to make money trading options. There are courses on how to make money on the internet, how to make money on eBay. Are any of these good? The answer, most of them are excellent. They have information, good techniques, good skills, and you can follow their systems and...
All right, let's run this play. Here we go. What's up, family? Grand Rising. Hope everybody is having a blessed morning today. I'm feeling aligned. I'm feeling grateful. I'm feeling really, really good. Just had some coffee. I'm feeling awake. Everything is feeling good. Grand Rising, my beautiful family. Happy smiles. Yes, 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 yes. Big, big smiles. Love the hair. Thank you, fam. Even though it's not the best, but appreciate it. Always blessed and grateful, guys. As we know, life is good and it's getting better. We expect miracles and we get miracles. Everything always works in our favor. And, today is Christmas. Today is a day for us to grow. Today is a day for us to elevate. And, it's really, really beautiful for us to be able to continue to grow and elevate together and take the time each and every single day to teach ourselves, new ideas, new techniques, new strategies, new things that we need. Because remember, at the end of the day, in order for us to grow, we need new ideas to think from. And what Mornings with Nano does for you guys, it gives you new ideas that you can think from. You're like, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know things go like this. So Mornings with Nano is just a great place for you to come and get ideas on, life in general, leadership, business, network marketing, even the videos I played before. Like that video right there is extremely valuable. Um, and I want you guys to take those videos very serious, the ones that I played before, because a lot of the videos that I played before Mornings with Nano, these are videos that helped me change my situation. And if it wasn't for those videos, I wouldn't be as passionate about learning new information, teaching new information, going out there and becoming a better version of myself. So I'm excited for all of us to grow and continue to learn. it's been a it's been a great few days for sure. We're Thursday, June 30th, last day of June. And tomorrow's July 1st, guys. So I want to make sure that you guys remember, just really quick, make sure that you guys have done your evaluations. I think everybody here should do an evaluation of, what their first 6 months have been, a little 6 month evaluation of, like I said, 3 questions. I'm going to just remind you one last time. What did you do well the first 6 months? What didn't you do well the first 6 months? And what are you going to improve on the next 6 months? I think it's important that you guys do that, because we want to make sure that everybody here gets a good evaluation. And right, ask yourself 3 powerful questions that are gonna, give you good perspective on just everything that's happening. And I want to make sure that every single one of you guys goes into the next 6 months extremely intentional. Exactly, I want you to know exactly what was it that you did well. I want you to know exactly what was it that you weren't doing well, and what improvements you're going to make, because that's it. Starting, tomorrow is the second half of the year. The second quarter ends today. Is the last day of the second quarter. Third quarter starts tomorrow. So, we want to go into these times very prepared, because what I like to tell you guys really quick is, these moments right here, for example, July 1st, right? July 1st, halfway point of the year. Okay, these are like checkpoints along the journey, right? And the reason why checkpoints are so important is because when you hit a checkpoint, it's a great place for you to track how far you've come, track, what you've done well, what you didn't do well. Because what tends to happen is we're in the halfway point of the year. So what you do these next 3 months is what literally will determine what you do the rest of the year. This is so important. So, like, for example, if you make no adjustment at this point right here, then that means that you will go into the third quarter with the same habits that you had in the first and the second quarter. And think about it. If you do that, that means first, second, and third quarter, you had same habits, similar habits. You didn't make any changes, which a pretty good chance is that if you do it 3 quarters out of 4, the fourth, you're just going to kind of cruise, and you're kind of just going to already go into it again, which is the highest chance, and which is what happens with most people, because most people don't take the time to really evaluate themselves. The reason why I bring this up, and the reason why I bring it up as much as I do, is because I know what evaluating myself has done for me. I know what me sitting down intentionally has brought to sorry. I know exactly what it has brought to my life and what it has done for me. So I want all of you guys to do the exact same thing. Ask yourself those 3 questions. What did I do well the first 6 months? Be honest with yourself. Give yourself credit for it. Then ask yourself, what didn't you do well the first 6 months? Okay. That question is going to be the most important one, because that's going to be the question that tells you where you slacked off. Where did you slack off? Did you slack off on your morning routine? Did you slack off on prospecting? Did you slack off on your content? You got to ask yourself, where was it that you slacked off? And then you go and make improvements. So very important information. Type a 3 in the chat box if you're going to do your evaluation. Man, what's good with me? Put a 3 in the chat box. The Kevin trying to come out. But yeah, I'm excited. But as we're doing that as well, I know we haven't expressed any gratitude. So what is one thing that you are grateful for this morning? Type it in the chat box as well. What is one thing that you are grateful for this morning? Type it in the chat box. Yes, yes, yes. Amazing, amazing. Well, I am grateful for God. I am grateful for family. I am grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dadiana. I'm extremely grateful for my team, the leaders within my organization, the whole Mornings with Nano community, everybody on social media. I'm grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my mentors. I'm grateful for my day one brothers. I'm just extremely, extremely grateful for everything, guys. Very, very grateful. Grateful for water. Let me go grab some really quick so I can get into it. All right, let's run it. Gotta get some water. I think it's because I haven't drank any water today. All right, let's run it. We're good now. I feel solid. Let's get it. All right, fam. So today we're gonna go over the 7 natural laws of the universe. The reason why I chose to do these, I said, you know what? I got to do the laws before the summer starts, right? I got to teach the families the laws because, the laws are very important to understand. And a lot of people don't know the laws, and a lot of people don't understand the laws. And you can actually use the laws to your advantage as long as you know them because I've taught this before, and I always say this: if you master the laws, what happens, family? Type it in the chat box if you know the answer. If you master the laws, you what? Type it in the chat box. What happens when you master the laws? When you master the laws, you master your life. Okay. And it's important for you as a individual who's this is for life in general. Like I said, this has nothing to do with the business at all. But understanding this is so key. So you master the laws, you master your life. And I've learned these laws very early on. I'm grateful that I've learned these laws. I'm grateful that I understand the laws because through life, you deal with certain situations and you can always relate them back to the laws, right? Everything that, happens in life, every situation, every obstacle, every good thing, every bad thing, it all relates to a certain law. And a lot of people don't know these laws because they haven't studied these laws. Now, there's multiple different laws, but there's only 7 natural laws of the universe. Only 7 natural laws of the universe. And I usually do this training at least twice a year. I haven't done it this year. Last time I did it was 2021. So I wanted to do this training again because I wanted to give you guys a reminder. Remember, the repetition of the information is what's important. I've done this training multiple times, but even still to this day, even just me being reminded of the laws is so important for me. So I'm gonna go over the 7 natural laws, and each law I'm gonna go over as well. The best way to apply it on top of that. Okay, so get ready for it. There you go. Wow, you know the exact date too. February 25th, 2021 was the last time I did this training. So let's if you're an OG on Mornings with Nano, you've heard this. So this is good for you, but this is just a refresher for you. But if you've never heard this is going to be an incredible training as well. So let's go over the natural laws. All right. So number 1 is my favorite law. It's one of my favorite laws, but it's the law of vibration. Okay, the first law of the universe is the law of vibration. Okay, now I wanted to make sure I mentioned this. The law of vibration is the primary law to the law of attraction? The law of attraction is actually the secondary law. The law of vibration is actually the primary law. So you see how a lot of individuals, they talk about the law of attraction, the law of attraction, the law of attraction. Okay. The law of attraction is actually the secondary law to the law of vibration. The law of vibration is really the OG one. Okay. So I know a lot of you'll hear a lot of people throughout, throughout life and stuff talk about the law of attraction. But in reality, the law of vibration is really the primary law to the law of attraction, right? The law of vibration, is the primary law. So what is the law of vibration? The law of vibration states that everything vibrates, nothing rests. The law of vibration states that everything vibrates, nothing rests. Everything around us is all energy, okay? And as long as you can understand whatever's happening in your life was vibrated into your life, and everything that is being attracted into your life is due to your level of the vibration that you are vibrating on. Okay. So everything that is happening in your life at this current moment right now is due to the vibration that you are on. Because it states, listen to the law of vibration, it states that everything vibrates, nothing rests. Everything around us is all energy. What's happening in your life was vibrated into your life. Whatever it is, good or bad, everything that happens in your life was vibrated into your life. It was attracted into your life due to the vibration that you are vibrating on. Think of a vibration as a channel almost. What channel are you on? Depending on what channel you are on will determine the things that you're seeing, right? So for example, right, that's a great way to explain it. I could be watching the news on one channel, I could be watching sports on one channel, I could be watching a movie on another channel. Same thing with vibration. What are you vibrating on? What are your levels of vibration? The lower you vibrate, the lower the things you will attract. The higher you vibrate, the higher the things that you will attract. It all depends what you are vibrating on, because we are all energy. Okay. If you are in a good vibration, you will attract good things. If you are in a bad vibration, you will attract bad things. That's simply how it works. There's no in between about it. Okay. If you are struggling financially, it's because you are in a vibration of lack. You are worried about the lack of money. You are worried about the fact that you got to pay the rent. There's a lack of vibration there, right? Lack is a vibration. Abundance is a vibration. Okay. Whichever one you put more energy into will determine the vibration that you are on. So, like, for example, guys, when I was broke, I knew why I was broke. Like, I understood it. Like, it finally made sense. I'm like, bro, no, of course you're broke. Like, look at what you're worried about. You're worried about this. You're worried about the bills. You're worried about lack of money. You're always thinking about the money in your bank account and how you barely have any money in your bank account. You're worried about the fact that you may not be able to pay that phone bill. You're always focused on the lack of money. So you're going to vibrate at that level, and you're going to attract more situations to keep you at that level. It changes once you understand the thing. So, like, I was learning this stuff, and then I was looking at my situation, and it all started to make sense. I was like, wait, hold up, Leno. Like, you're doing this. You're vibrating at this level. Okay, you're attracting these situations into your life. This is the reason why you have a lack of money. Okay, this is the reason why your bank account looks like gas prices. This is the reason why you continue to worry about the bills, is because that's what I was putting my energy on. Remember, the law of vibration states that everything vibrates, nothing rests. Everything around us is all energy. Whatever is happening in your life was vibrated into your life. Okay? And it was attracted due to your level of vibration. Okay? That's why they say your energy is your new identity. One of the best compliments that I get, let me tell you guys something. One of the best compliments that I get is not that I am handsome, it's not that I'm a good speaker, it's not that, mornings with Nano. The best compliment you can receive is, wow, bro, you have great energy. It's one of the best compliments that you can ever receive. Bro, your energy is so vibrant. I love your energy. That's one of the best compliments anybody can ever receive. When somebody compliments you on your energy. It's one of the best compliments you can ever receive. Because think about it. They saw beyond your looks. They saw beyond your physical attributes. They felt your energy. They felt your energy. So I tell people your energy is your new identity. Your energy is your new identity because remember, energy can't be destroyed. It can't be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred. Okay, so my energy can't be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred. So when somebody tells me that they love my energy is because I transferred my energy to them. That's why they say be very careful who you keep around you because you don't want to be transferring your energy to the wrong people. Some people are not ready for that kind of energy. Okay, so understanding the law of vibration is very important because you can look at your situation right now, and based off of your situation, it can tell you what your vibration is. If me and you were to have a conversation right now, and I were to ask you, tell me a little bit about your life situation right now. And if you tell me what your life situation is, just based off of the life situation that you give me, I can tell you what you're vibrating on. I can tell right away. I can tell you right away what you're vibrating on based off of the life. You don't even got to tell me much. I could tell you what you're thinking. I could tell you what you're feeling, everything. Just based off of the situation that you tell me that you're living. Super important. So you got to understand the law of vibration, which is the first law, number 1. Okay, the second law, number 2, is the law of transmutation. Okay, the law of transmutation. What does the law of transmutation state? The law of transmutation is energy moves in and out of physical form. Your thoughts are creative energy. The more you focus your thinking on what you desire, the more you harness your creative power. Okay? Energy moves in and out of physical form. Your thoughts are creative energy. The more you focus your thinking on what you desire, the more you harness your creative power to move that energy into results in your life. It's important that we all understand that. The law of transmutation. I'm going to read it one more time. Okay. Even me hearing it for the who knows how many times I've heard this, but even me hearing it again, it puts a lot of things into perspective for me as to, the energy and focus I need to be giving out. But let's hear it again. Listen to it very, very, very slowly here. The law of transmutation is energy moves in and out of physical form. It moves in and out of physical form. Energy moves in and out of physical form. Your thoughts are creative energy. Listen to that. Your thoughts, what we think, is creative energy. Don't miss the word creative. They didn't say your thoughts are energy. They said your thoughts are creative energy, which means your thoughts create. Okay. The more you focus your thinking on what you desire, the more you harness your creative power to move that energy into results in your life. Listen to that. Listen to that last one right there, that last sentence one more time. The more you focus your thinking on what you desire, the more you harness your creative power to move that energy into results in your life. Your thoughts are everything, fam. And the thing with the laws is, guys, the laws are they're both double-edged swords. That's the thing with the laws. Let me make sure you guys understand that. It works positively and it works negatively. Only those, that's why I said if you master the laws, you master your life. Because if you master the law of vibration, if you master the law of transmutation, that's mad important right there. Those two laws are key. Energy moves in and out of physical form. So in order for us to create what we want, it's important that we understand that what we think is what's going to create. What we focus on, all right, is what's going to harness our creative power to move that energy into the results in our life. Perfect example. You guys were able to see where I lived in Miami, the penthouse, right? If I tell you guys how many times I thought about that penthouse, how many times I wrote it down, how many times I had it written in a goal card, how many times I celebrated it, how many times I visualized it, there was so much, okay? There was so much energy and so much focus on it that if you really sit down and think about it, look, listen to it again. Energy moves in and out of physical form. My thoughts were creative energy, and the more I focused my thinking on what I desired, which was that at the moment, okay, the more I harnessed my creative power to move that energy into the results in my life. So if you want something, all you got to do is focus on it for an incredible amount. You can't lose focus. This is why I've told you guys in the past, because I understand this information. A lot of this information for me is already subconsciously installed in me. A lot of this information is already installed inside of me. Like, that's why my vision doesn't fade. That's why things could be happening to the right, to the left, above me, below me. I'm here. I'm right here. I'm one foot in front of the other. Let's get it. Let's go. I'm here. I'm right here with you. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. One foot in front of the other. Everything could be happening to the left, to the right. I'm right here. Blindfolds on, like a horse. I don't want to look right. I don't want to look left. I'm right here. Focused. Focused. Walking on water. What happened to the person that looked to the left or looking to the right when they were walking on water? The moment they did that, what started to happen? They started to sink because they got distracted. So you got to keep your energy extremely focused on what you want. It's a law, which means that whether you pay attention to it or not, it's going to work because it is the laws. It is the laws of the universe. Okay, it's like any other law out there. Like I always give you guys the example, the law of gravity. I could throw this lint roller up And 10 out of 10 times, the 10 times I throw it up, the 10 times is going to come down. It's not like I'm going to throw it up and it's just going to float. Maybe if I'm on space, it'll float. But as long as I'm living here on Earth, every time I throw up this lint roller, no matter how high I throw it, no matter how low I throw it, every time I throw it up, it's going to come back down. Every time. 10 out of 10. So the same way the law of gravity works is the same way that the law of transmutation works. What you focus on is what will be created. What you put your mind on is what will be created. So think about it. What have you been focused on? And I want to use this example so you guys can get it. But this is the reason why I never ever got sick or I never got COVID or any of that stuff, right? It was because I never even, for me, none of that stuff existed in my reality, to be honest. I don't know if it was that I had a good immune system or what it was, but in my reality, it never ever existed. Because I remember Bob Proctor. So Alex Morton one day ran a training on he was running a training and he was talking about how he asked Bob Proctor what he thinks about everything that was happening. And he says, I don't think about it. What are you talking about? He said, like, everything that's happening with COVID and the pandemic, he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not my reality. And when he said that, I said, if Bob Proctor's thinking that way, I got to think that way. So, and I'm so glad that he did that very early on, because that was my reality as well. I was like, what are you talking about? Right? I don't know what you're talking about. I never ever allowed it into my reality. I never accepted it. No matter how many people got sick, no matter, bro, there were times that, bro, if I'm honest with you guys, there was a time where Katie got it. And everybody was like, "Oh, nah, we can't hang." I'm like, "Nah, I'm hanging out with Katie. I don't care that she got it. Let's go. Let's hang out." That didn't exist in my reality. That there was no, for me, it wasn't true for me. It wasn't my reality at the end of the day, right? And it wasn't something that I was able to accept because I wasn't going to put energy into it. Because think about it, your thoughts are creative energy. The more you focus your thinking, remember, the thinking is creative power, whether you do it in the good or the bad. That's why if we start diving deep into some stuff and we go down the rabbit hole, you'll understand why the world is in the vibration that is in, is because the higher ups understand this information. They understand the laws and they're using it against people. Okay? The elites understand this information. This is not information that people know. Think about it. Nobody ever teaches you the laws of the universe, the laws of transmutation. They don't understand this stuff. Like, I could really go into some stuff, and some of you guys will get scared about the stuff that I'll tell you guys about the way stuff works in this world. And it's crazy the way it does work. People understand this information and they're using it against you. Because if you don't learn how to play the game will always play you. And since most don't know how to play the game is always going to play you. How are you going to win if you don't know how to play? This is a game. This is all a game. Okay? This is all a game. So if you understand the game, you can play the game and win the game. That's why I was able to win the game. Because at the end of the day, I understood it before the game even came out. I already knew what the game was. The game was fear. The game was low vibration. The game was the law of transmutation. It was all there. It was all right there. I understood it. I saw it. I was like, okay, perfect. I can choose to give it focus, to give it energy, and I will attract it into my reality. Or I can choose to reject it, not give it any energy, and it won't be a part of my reality. Guys, you need to really see this stuff, and you got to understand this stuff, fam. You have to know this stuff. This is all a game. Everything is control. Everything. This whole game is all about control. Okay? It's only a small amount of them and the majority of us. If we all understood the game, we can beat them. So in order for them to stay in control, they have to find ways to control us through our food, through our water, through our jobs, through everything. I need you guys to open your eyes for once and actually see what's really going on. You got to see what's really going on. You know how they say, wake up and smell the coffee? You got to really see what's going on here. It's all controlled. All from even school is controlled. Even school is controlled. Everything. The system, everything is already set up. It's a system. You got to think about it. How are you going to run a country without a system? It's impossible. You can't run a country of hundreds of millions of people without a system. There is a system in place, all the way from food to entertainment, you name it. Churches, schools, everything is a system all under one umbrella. It's so deep that we can't even go into that conversation. I don't even want to go into that conversation. How deep it is. I've gone down that rabbit hole already, and just learn how to play the game. Just learn the game. That's all I'm telling you. Learn the game. A lot of our families, and unfortunately a lot of our friends, they're not going to make it. Their egos and their pride is way too big, and they think that what we say is crazy, and it's okay. Some people are not going to make it, and like Ricardo said, if you know, one day I want you guys to know, because I want to save you guys. I don't ever want you guys to fall for this stuff, If I can save as many people as I can, I will. But there's some people that are not going to be saved. And some of those people are some of our closest friends and family will be the individuals that fall into it. You got to know this stuff for real, fam. I'm talking to you guys about life, bro. I'm not even talking to you about business right now. Learn how to play this game. So all of that stuff that you see, guys, all of that stuff is all set up, bro. All of this stuff that we see on the news is set up. It's a setup. It's all for a bigger purpose, bro. Just always remember that. If it's on the news, it's all distraction from what's really going on. If we see it all over our social media, it is controlled so that we can all shift our focus to that specific thing and distract us from what's really going on. Just make sure you're focused. Make sure that your energy is in the right place. That's why my energy stays focused on my goals, my impact, and my purpose. My purpose is to wake more people up. I can't control that. At the end of the day, I can't control it. So I don't focus on it. I can't control what they do. I can't control. You don't think I wish I could control the killings that are happening in our country? You don't think I wish I could control the inflation, the gas prices? How could Nano control the gas prices going up? I can't do anything about that. You think I can't control the fact that gas prices are going up, food is going up, that the fact that there's food shortages, everything is going up, and we're making the same money and some are less. This is all part of the setup. Think about that. Think about that setup right there. How does that make sense? Everything is going up in price, but people are losing their jobs, making less money, but everything costs more. How does that make sense? Think about that for real. If you really sit down and think about it, how does that make sense? How is it that everything is going up in price, but everybody's making the same money, and we are going into a recession now. And there's food shortages and all of this stuff now. You guys see what's going on? Like real stuff. I'm not talking about business right here, just real stuff, like real life stuff. Like, how does that make sense? People were already struggling before everything else. Imagine now. For those who weren't prepared, they didn't listen. They didn't pay attention. You got to make sure that you are seeing what's going on right here. Please, family, please, please, please. That's why I've been telling you guys for years, take your business serious. Get to know who you really are. Have no fear. The reason why I'm so calm and I'm so secure is because I've been preparing myself for years for moments like this. I really need you guys to wake up seriously. For real, on like another level. Because if not, people are not going to make it. They're not. Some of our friends are not going to make it. Some of our families are not going to make it. Go get more sun. Go spend your energy in things that are going to bring you success, bring you happiness. That's all it is. That was number 2. Let me stop ranting and let me finish the training, because if not, I'll stay here a whole nother hour talking about that stuff. But you got to remember this stuff. The universe will organize itself according to your thoughts, but you got to understand the law of transmutation. Those 2 laws are very important. Law of vibration, law of transmutation, which is number 2. Number 3 is the law of polarity. Okay? The law of polarity states that everything has an opposite. Okay? It states that everything has an opposite. Hot and cold, light and dark, up and down, good or bad. Listen to this, and it's kind of like it's so funny here. So the law of polarity means, okay, the law of polarity states that everything has an opposite. So all it is. Number 3 is the law of polarity. Everything has an opposite. Hot, cold, light and dark, up and down, good or bad, positive or negative. Listen to this right here. In the absence of that which you are not, that which you are is not. Listen to that again. In the absence of that which you are not, that which you are is not. Polar opposites make existence possible. I know that's people are like, wait. Yeah, it took me a while to get that one too. Right. He said, this is another thing I wrote down here. It says, if what you are didn't coexist with what you are, then what you are could not be. So let's talk about it, right? It says, in the absence of that which you are not, that which you are is not. So if you're not positive, then you are negative. Okay. If you are not negative, then you are positive. Okay. In the absence of that which you are not, that which you are is not. So you got to understand that. Okay. If you are not one, you are the other. If you are not yin, you are yang. All right? You got to know which one you are. There's no in between, there's no neutral. It's either you're one or the other. You are either positive or you are a negative individual. No in between. Positive or negative. It's the law. Law of polarity. Okay? Think about it. We are inside right now. But if there was no such thing as an outside, this couldn't exist. Because there's inside and there's outside. So outside has to exist in order for inside to exist. You guys understand that, right? This wouldn't be considered inside if outside didn't exist. See how that makes sense now? Right? The reason why inside exists is because there's an outside. So the reason why positive exists is because there's also a negative. So one can exist without the other. Okay? The same way that there's up, there's also down. The same way that there's hot, there's also cold. Okay? The reason why there's light is because there's dark. Think about it. It's light right now. But why is it light right now? Why does light exist? Because we also know that in the nighttime, it was dark. We have the sun, and then we have what? The moon. If you think about it, everywhere around us, this is happening. This is happening all around us, family. And you got to see it and you got to understand it. You have to see it and you got to understand it. When you understand this stuff, it'll really change everything for you. That's why it says right here in one of the things that I wrote down, it says, therefore do not condemn or criticize what you are or what you don't want. Because without the other, there's no thing. That's why they say don't condemn rock bottom, because without rock bottom, you wouldn't know what the top is. You need to know what you don't want. When I hit rock bottom, I knew, okay, this is the lowest I can go. Now, the same way that there's a down, the same way that there's an up, there's a polar opposite to where I was. That's how it is. You got to know this stuff. There's either love or there's hate. There's either high vibration or low vibration. It's called the law of polarity. You got to know this. Without sadness, we wouldn't know what happiness is. Absolutely. You have to know this. That is what the laws are. The law of polarity states that everything has an opposite. Okay? You are either here or you're there. Exactly. You guys are getting the point. Now it's making sense. So you have to choose. What are you going to be? Are you going to be positive or are you going to be negative? Okay, remember, one can't exist without the other. So it's all a choice. At the end of the day, it all comes down to a choice. What choice are you going to make? I choose to be positive today. I choose to go up today. That's my choice, right? I chose to be positive and I chose that I wanted to go up today. And I chose a high vibration today. That was my choice. When you wake up in the morning, what is your choice? It's all a choice at the end of the day, right? Because even from the simplest things that I used to do from when I woke up, from when I started this journey, right? What did I do? When I used to wake up in And, when I started my journey, when I wanted to change my vibration, I understood the importance of choice, right? So when I would wake up, since I was so used to waking up and grabbing my phone, what I did was I put a book and my phone next to each other like this in my bed. I put them right next to each other. And when I would wake up, I had a choice. Am I going to grab a book or am I going to grab my phone? My phone is low vibration. My book is high vibration. What am I going to choose in the mornings? Right? Am I going to choose my phone or am I going to choose my my book? You have to make the choice. And I remember making that choice every morning. I said, you know what? I'm going to pick the book. What you pick, the choices that you make will determine the reality that you live. That's why they say you are born looking like your parents, but you die looking like your choices. You are born looking like your parents, but you die looking like your choices. What choices are you making? What choices are you making every day? Did you wake up this morning and choose to stay in bed? Or did you wake up this morning and choose to do your morning routine? It's all a choice. If you choose to stay in bed, that's a low vibrational. If you chose to wake up and do your morning routine, that's high vibration. It's all a choice, fam. So that's number 3, law of polarity. Number 4, it's called the law of relativity. The law of relativity states that nothing is what it is until you relate it to something. The law of relativity states that nothing is what it is until you relate it to something. Point of view is determined by what the observer is relating to. The nature, the value, or the quality of something can only be measured in relation to another object. I'm going to repeat this. This is a very important one right here. This one has changed a lot for me as well. All of these have changed a lot for me, but this one is a good one right here. The law of relativity states that nothing is what it is until you relate it to something. Okay. Point of view is determined by what the observer is relating to. The nature, the value, or the quality of something can only be measured in relation to another object. So let's use it as an example now. Think about certain situations that have happened in your life. Think about maybe what you're currently going through right now. You can only determine what this situation is like based on what you relate it to. Okay. So, like, for example, there are certain individuals that I know that are going through things way worse than me. So, for example, I can never give a definition to what I'm going through until I relate it to something else. Okay, so listen to it one more time. The law of relativity states that nothing is what it is until I relate it to something. So the situation that I'm going through right now, for example, is not what it is until I relate it to something. Okay, so every time you're going through something, so whatever you're going through at the very point in time right now is not what it is until you relate it to something. All right, I need you to understand that. So it states that nothing is what it is until you relate it to something. Okay, so when you relate it to something, now we know, okay, this is what it is. Remember, point of view is determined by what the observer is relating to. That's why they say you need to have perspective. Okay, you might think that you're going through something, But compared to what this person is going through, what you're going through is nothing. It's the truth. That's why I told you guys, yes, I lost this amount of money, but look, this person lost 14 M's, 14 million. This person lost 500,000. So compared to what it is, really is not that bad. The nature, the value, or the quality of something can only be measured in relation to another object. You got to know this, okay? You got to think about this stuff. You got to know where you are, and you got to have POV, perspective. A lot of you guys are not going through anything compared to what other people are going through, if you really sit down and think about it. What you think you're going through, some other people would wish they had your problems. And look at how you're looking at it. I remember learning this and I was like, man, this is when I started to be grateful for even making a small amount of money, because it's the truth. It's like, okay, I remember complaining for only making $150 a week, $250 a week. But then I'm like, how is that bad? There's people that's making no money. There's people that are drowning in debt. So compared to that, I have a great situation. I just got to be grateful. I'm beyond blessed. I'm beyond blessed. I have a roof over my head. My mom cooks food every day. I'm beyond blessed. I have clothes on my back. There's people that don't. So if you really sit down and think about it, you're really not going through nothing. It's just people, they don't relate it. So they choose to let that be what it is, and they let themselves go crazy off of what they think they're going through. But in reality, it really is not even bad. And what tends to happen is when you look at it that way, you're able to get through certain issues in life a lot faster. A lot faster. Look, fam, we have people in countries, in third world countries, that have access to the same businesses that we do. And those people outgrind us 10 times over. And they have less than us. They have less money than us. They have less resources than us. And they outgrind us 10 times over. 1,000%. The people in Mexico and South America, they outgrind us 10 times over. 20 times over. I promise you that. It's not even close. Those people grind because they know they have nothing to lose. You don't got nothing to lose, bro. They hungry. I wish that all of us within the States had the same hunger that those individuals have. We are so spoiled with everything that we have. There's people that wish that they had the things that we have. There's people that wish that they had working Wi-Fi in their houses. Damn, my phone died on Instagram. There's people that wish that they had working Wi-Fi the way that we do. That they had the access to the information that we do. And I'm telling you, they don't. We are lazy in the States, bro. I promise you that. We are lazy here in the States. Those people are risking it all for these businesses. Dude, they don't even have working phones. They have iPhones. They have iPhone 7s and 6s still. 7s. iPhone 7 and 8 still. You think they have an iPhone Pro Max 12? Nah. They still building their businesses off of their iPhone 6s and 7s, bro. Off of you think you guys don't think, I don't know, you guys don't know how blessed we are until you go somewhere else and see it. We got to get on our grind, guys. We get outworked any day by people in South America and in those places. That's why I work so hard. I'm like, bro, I can't allow nobody to outwork me. I'm telling you guys are not going through nothing, bro, compared to what other people are going through. I promise you that. I realized, I was like, bro, I'm not going through nothing, bro. I'm over here complaining about the wrong things, bro. I went to certain countries. I was like, bro, I literally prayed to God, and I said, God, please forgive me if I ever complained about anything. Something as simple as just some working Wi-Fi at home. Those people don't have. They go to the nearest McDonald's and Starbucks to work and build their business. Imagine if you had to work. Imagine if you didn't have no working Wi-Fi at your home and you had to walk to the nearest Wi-Fi sensor, whether it was a restaurant, whether it was a McDonald's and a Starbucks, to get Wi-Fi to build your business. And some of you guys, you take it for granted that you wake up and your phone is right away connected to Wi-Fi and everything is already there. But until you don't have it, you will realize how important it really was. Clean water. You understand what I'm saying? You would appreciate the things that you have more now if it was taken from you. That's why I appreciate the small things. The law of relativity. There's someone right now outworking you and they don't have working Wi-Fi at home. They're working from a McDonald's right now. You should feel some kind of way if there's people out there that are outworking you with less resources than you. There's people that are working to get in the situation that you're in. And you're over here, you have the situation and you're taking it for granted and you're making excuses. Oh, this, and I can't do this, and I can't do that. And there's someone somewhere in the world right now praying to have a working Wi-Fi, to have a roof over their head, to have clothes on their backs so they can take advantage of that situation more. And you have the situation and you're just throwing it in the garbage. We got to understand that stuff, guys. I'm telling you, it is life-changing information when you allow it. You got to know this and you got to understand this on deeper levels than most can. And if you don't, okay. So that was number 4, the law of relativity. Okay. Until you don't relate it, you won't know. Number 5 is the law of rhythm. Number 5 is the law of rhythm. States that everything has a natural cycle. The tide goes in and then it goes back out. Night follows day and life regenerates itself. We all have good times and bad times, but nothing stays the same. Change is constant. Knowing that this too shall pass is great wisdom about life's flow. The law of rhythm, I understand it. I'm not naive. I know that there's going to be good, and then after good, there's going to be bad. I get it. I know there's going to be good days, and I know there's going to be character building days. I know this stuff. It's like people sometimes forget, like, bro, this is the flow of life. This is something we have no control over. That's why you got to appreciate. You have to appreciate the good while it's there, and you got to appreciate the bad while it's there. You got to appreciate both. Let me put the phone to charge right here. There you go. You got to appreciate both. The law of rhythm states that everything has a natural cycle. The tide goes in and then back out. Night follows day and life regenerates himself. Knowing that this too shall pass is great wisdom about life's flow. So the fact that you are aware of all of this information, knowing that everything too shall pass, is great information for you to know. Whatever you're going through is going to pass. Because the same way the tide went in is the same way the tide is going to go back out. The same way that it was light is the same way that it's going to go dark. The same way something died is the same way something lives now. It is the flow of life. It's the law of rhythm. So when I'm down, right, I know that life is like this, is ups and downs. So when I'm down, I understand that this too is gonna pass. So I'm like, okay, I'm down. And like I always teach you guys, how you handle the lows will determine how high you go. How you handle the lows will determine how high you go next. Because think about it, it's always like this. All right. It's going to keep going like that. If you handle the lows poorly, then you're not going to go that much higher. But if you handle it good, then you will be deserving of going a lot higher the next time around. For example, right? Let's say this was the high. All right. Let's say this is your high. And let's say your high is only a certain amount, right? If you want to do it, let's dedicate it. Let's relate it to money as an example. Okay. Let's say that at this high, you're making $2,000 a month. And then you go low. Okay. If you don't handle the low well, if you don't handle the character building low, what tends to happen is you'll go back up and you'll only go back up to $2,000 a month. And then you'll end up going back down, another character building moment. And if you're not handling that low well, then guess what? You'll go back up and you'll only be at $2,000 a month always. That's why people feel stuck, is because they're just going like this, because they're not handling the lows of life the right way. They're not, it's not something that they're handling correctly. Now, when you handle the lows the right way, when you learn the importance of, these things, when you handle lows the right way, what tends to happen is you go from $2,000 a month to $5,000 a month. When you learn that, a lot of people don't know how to handle the lows. They stop doing their morning routine. They stop doing what's required of them. They allow their vibration to stay low. They allow themselves to lose faith. They stop praying. They stop doing what they were doing. So what tends to happen is, yes, you'll go down, but then you'll end up right back where you are, to then end up right back down, to then go back to where you are. It's something that you guys need to understand. Now, when you understand that if you handle the lows the right way, you can't handle look, fam, you cannot handle the lows and expect to go high. You have to handle the lows the right way to deserve a higher high. You're not going to get a higher high if you're not handling the lows good. So that's what the law of rhythm states. The law of rhythm states that everything has a nitro cycle. So because I understand this law about the law of rhythm, okay, I understand that when the lows come, this is a test now. I'm like, okay, Neno, you're dealing with a low right now in life. Okay, how are you going to handle it? You got to make sure you're doing your morning routine. You got to make sure you pray more, you practice more gratitude. You got to continue to put the work in. You got to continue to show, you got to continue to show up for your squad and your team. You got to make sure that it's all there, so that the next time you go up, not only do you go up, but you stay up. All right. And now what was once your high, now that's your support. That's what I tell people. What was once your high, that $2,000 a month, now that's your support, because you broke that high. So now the lowest you can go is back down to that. That's important. It's important that you guys understand that. Before, when I would go low and it would be low, low. But now when I go low, I'm still six figures. Before, I would go low and I would be broke. Now I go low and I still stay six figures. See how that works? Because my lows, my supports have gone up as I've handled the lows the better. I've handled lows really well, so my support has gone up with it. So my rock bottom nows are people's goals, humbly. You see how that works? My rock bottom moments are people's goals now, because I've learned how to handle lows a lot better than most people. So when I go low now, I go low and my lows are 6 figures. But before, my lows were different. And it's important that you guys understand that. So the law of rhythm is number 5. Number 6 is the law of cause and effect. Okay, the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect states that for every action, there is an equal reaction. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. All thought is creative, so be careful what you wish for. You will get it. The law of cause and effect states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Every cause has an effect. Everything you do is going to have an effect. Everything. Every prayer, every time you write your goal down, every meditation, every time you read, every time you journal, every time you prospect, every time you do anything. It's how it works. The law of cause and effect states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. Look at your effect. Your effect is what you have right now, for example, right? This is it. But what caused you to get to this effect? Okay. You can't focus on what created the effect at that point. You can only focus on what cause you're going to do next. The actions that I take today will determine the effect that I have later on. And then I'll look back and be like, okay, what caused me to have this effect? What was the cause that caused me to have that effect? So you got to know this stuff. This is super important. Whatever you plant, it will return to you. If you plant positive, you will get negative. If you plant positive, you will get positive. If you plant negative, you will get negative. Planting is the cause. The effect is what you receive. Planting the seed is a cause. What you harvest is your effect. That's the easiest way for me to explain it for you. When you plant the seed, that is the cause. The harvest that you get from the seed is the effect. So whatever you plant, you will receive. Whatever you focus on, you will get. So you need to pay attention to what your effect is and what is the cause. What is causing you, right? What are the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis that's causing this effect to happen? If you're not happy with your situation right now, if you're not happy with the effect that you're having in your life right now, what caused it? What caused it? That's important. That's number 6. And then the last one, number 7, so we could wrap it up, is the law of gestation, which states everything takes time to manifest. All things have a beginning and they grow into form as more energy is added to it. The law of gestation, everything takes time to manifest. All things have a beginning and they grow into form as more energy is added to it. So thoughts are like seeds being planted. And the more energy you give to those thoughts, eventually they'll bloom in our physical experience. So if you're wondering why you haven't got that goal yet, it's because it takes time. And all things have a beginning and they grow into form as some more energy are added into it. So for example, I have this goal. I planted the seed for this goal months ago. But every time I think about it, every time I write it, every time I celebrate it, every time I visualize it, that's me adding energy to it. So as the more energy I add to it, the more it grows into form. That's how it works. Whatever you grow into form is what's going to show up. And the thing is that it works in both ways. It works both positive and it works both negative. If I plant a seed of doubt in my mind, if I plant a seed of lack in my mind, and I give thought to it every day, and I give energy to it every day, through the law of gestation, that is going to turn into the physical form. And then I'm going to have a physical situation that pops up in my life that proves that that's what I was focusing on. That's why when anything happens in my life, I always look at the laws. I'm like, okay, when something happens in my life that I didn't expect to happen, I'm like, okay, why did this happen? What was I focused on? What seed that I plant a week ago, a few weeks ago, in the last month? What seed that I plant? What thought was I giving focus to that allowed this situation to show up in my life? Because this situation is only a physical, okay, this situation right here is only a physical experience of thoughts that I was giving energy and thought to over time that caused this to happen. So I always look at things like that. I'm like, hold up, why did this show up in my life? I don't like once it happens, I'm like, okay, it happened. But now I remember you can't connect the dots going forward. You can only connect them going backwards. Right. So when I look at that, I'm like, okay, when I look backwards, all right, I'm like, all right, boom. I take it step by step by step. What thought that I have? What have I been thinking? Who have I been hanging out with? What have I been listening to? So on and so forth. And I understand it going backwards. And I'm like, okay, the reason why this happened in my life, the reason why this is happening is because of so, so, and so, and so, and so. So when you look at your situation right now, if you look at your situation right now, you got to ask yourself, are you happy with your situation right now? Okay. Or are you not? Okay. And if you're not happy with your situation right now, you got to connect the dots going backwards as to what you've been thinking about, what you've been focusing on, what you've been, giving your energy to, who you've been hanging out with, because a lot of these things is what caused the situation that is happening in your life to be there right now. What have you been thinking? What have you been doubting? All of it, this is all, it goes all of these laws, even think about it, the law of cause and effect is almost similar to what we're going over here. The law of rhythm, you were up a few weeks ago but now you're down. The law of relativity, the law of polarity, the same way you're down is the same way you could be up. The law of transmutation, the energy's been moving out of physical form. The thoughts are creative energy. The law of vibration, everything aligns, fam. Everything aligns. Every single thing aligns in the laws. It's almost like they all have the same definitions, but they're said in different ways. When a situation arrives in your life, you can literally apply the laws. You should know something. Matt would always teach me is this. Look at this. He would always teach me this. He said, look at your situation and apply one of the laws of the universe to that situation. So like, look at your situation right now. Look at what you're going through right now and relate one of the laws of the universe to that situation. Which one would it be? Which one would you use? Which one would you use to the situation that you're in right now? What law will you use? Right? Would you use law number 1, number 2? Type it in the chat box. Look at your situation, all right? And what law can you use to relate to that one, right? To your situation. What law is needed in your life right now so that you can either get out of the situation, or what law is relating to what to help you understand the situation that you're in a lot more, right? Some people in here are saying law number 2. I got 2 people that said law number 3, the law of polarity. Okay, the law of cause and effect for some, right? Law number 7, right? Everything takes time, right? Right now, for me, the situation that I'm in, I got to use law number 7, obviously, as well. That one relates a lot with me right now, the law of gestation, because everything does take time to manifest. Okay, and a lot of the things that I'm working towards right now, they're growing into form as the more energy I add into it. Okay, I can also, use the law of vibration for this one. I got to get on a higher vibration. Okay, it's something that I'm working on. The law of transmutation as well is something I could use because I got to move energy in and out of these things through my thoughts and so on and so forth, right? So you got to know what laws are used in order for you to understand the situation that you're currently in. This is important information that every single one of you guys should learn. And one of the assignments that Matt Gribby told me was, he said, bro, write down the laws every day for 7 days. Sorry, no, write down the laws daily, once a day for 30 days straight until you know them per verbatim. Write them down once a day, every day for 30 days until you master them. Do it perfect right now. July 1st is tomorrow. Do it from July 1st to July 31st. Every day you take, I think it takes you like 15 minutes to write it down. Honestly, that's what it would take me, 15 minutes every day. Yeah, with the meaning. You write down the law and the meaning. Write the 7 laws down every day. What's the law and the meaning of it for 30 days. I'll drop the notes that I have so that way you guys can post them as well. So you guys can use them. The notes that I have of the laws and their definitions. So you can just take them and copy and paste them over and over and over again. And it's not, remember, it's not typing them, is writing them every day for 30 days. Prove to yourself that you can do it. Prove to yourself that you can do it. Write it down. White paper, blue ink. I'm telling you, it'll be game changing for some of you guys to see how this all works. Do it. I promise you, your whole life will change if you do it for 30 days. I did it and it changed everything for me. I was like, wow, like I started to understand the laws more and I started to use the laws throughout my life situations, and it helped me understand life a lot better because I did it for 30 days. You want to change your life? Master the laws. He said it. You master the laws, you master your life. You want to master your life? Master the laws. If I find you on the streets, can I ask you, hey, yo, Drew, what's the law of transmutation? And if you can't read to me and you can't tell me what the definition of the law of transmutation, and then you don't know the laws. If I see Tiara on the streets and I'm like, yo, Tiara, what's good, sis? What's the law of gestation? If Tiara can't tell me what the law of gestation is, she doesn't know them. So you got to get on that game, fam. You got to know it. So I challenge you guys to write down the 7 laws every day from July 1st to July 31st, 30 days. I challenge you every day, 15 minutes out of your day. Understand the laws, master the laws, master your life. All right, family. So that wraps up today's call. That went a little longer than usual, but we got it in. Type a 7 in the chat box if you guys got value from today's call. 7 in the chat box if you guys got value from today's call. I'm going to be dropping the laws in my Telegram chat. Let me see. I don't even know if I promote my Telegram chat link anymore here, but I should. Okay, so let me know if you guys can click on this. I'm gonna wait for everybody to stop typing the 7s. But if you're not in this Telegram, I'm gonna type the link now. There it is. Can you guys click on that link right there that I'm posting in the chat? Can you click on that link? Yes or no? I just want to know. I just typed the Telegram link. Let me know if you could click on it. No? Yes? Yes? Okay. Yeah, join that link right there. Join that link right there. I don't see it. Here it goes. Again. I just typed it again and again. I can't post it on, so I don't know if I could post it on my IG. Let me try to do it on my IG real quick. Give me 1 second. So we're gonna wrap this up. We're basically done here. Okay, let me try right here. Boom. Comment failed to post. It doesn't let me. Yes, I know we can click it. All right. All right, fam. So join that link if you haven't. But with that being said, that wraps up today's call. Guys, the release of the MMX, we might actually, it's not 100% yet, but the links, they're getting them set up so that way anybody can join, even for people outside. So it might be delayed a little bit. I'm going to be finding out here within the next 24 hours. Had a great conversation yesterday, but there's a few things that may need to be fixed before we can actually launch it 100%. So we might be delayed a little bit. So I'll keep you guys updated as we go. But I just want to do a quick prayer for us before we head out. So let's do a quick prayer. And everybody bow your heads and let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with another beautiful day filled with your grace and your abundance. We are so thankful each and every single day that you're teaching us lessons that we're going to be able to use on a day-to-day to help us master our lives. Today, we learned the laws of the universe and how we can apply them on a day-to-day basis to understand our certain situations. Everything makes a lot more sense now. And we are just all so thankful that we have a leader like you that's continuously pouring in wisdom into us. The guidance has been incredible, and every day we feel closer and closer to our dreams. So we just want to say thank you for everything that you're doing for us every day. Thank you for guiding us. Thank you for protecting us. We pray that today is a day that we can apply the laws of the universe and help understand them a lot better so we can master our lives. Because in order for us to master our lives, we got to apply them ourselves. And when we apply them ourselves and we become masters of the laws, then we can teach others how to become masters of the laws. And the more people that we teach how to become masters of the laws, the more people that we're going to help master their lives. And the more people that master their lives, the better we change the world, God. So we are just so thankful for the position that we're in, that we get to wake up every day and serve our purpose and become better versions of ourselves. Thank you for the ideas that you continue to, provide us with day in and day out. And most importantly, just thank you for your presence. We feel you every day on these calls, and there's nothing better than being on a call and being in a place where your presence is felt and where we know that we're going to have you right there by our side, God. So thank you so much for being there for us. Continue to guide us, continue to show us the way. We love you and we appreciate you so much. Let's go out there and have a productive day filled with love and guidance and love and gratitude. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 All right. So I love you guys so much. Appreciate you guys even more. We had a great call. And I'm just looking forward for tomorrow's call already on Friday, so we could finish off a great week. All right, fam. So subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you like this video if you haven't, if you guys got value from the 7 laws. And then also make sure that if you guys want to get locked in with everything, just stay up to date. I'll keep you guys up to date with everything. But from the looks of it, I don't think we're going to be able to start MMX next week. If anything changes, I will let you guys know. But until then, we're still rocking here on YouTube until everything gets finalized and everything gets right. All right, fam. So I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys so much. And get locked in with us. Make sure that you're here tomorrow. I'm going to finish it off with a really, really good training tomorrow. All right, fam. Enjoy the rest of your days. I love y'all, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. I will be dropping the notes in the chat so you guys can have them. And we're going to continue to run it. Make sure you apply it, write them down, do your evaluations, lock in, and don't miss that opportunity. Enjoy the rest of your day, fam. God bless.